Welcome to Entrepreneurs Unlimited with Mark Haney on KHTK Sports 1140 and HaneyBiz.com. Mark is a well-known local entrepreneur who has a passion for growing companies and uncovering the stories of other successful business people. Mark will share his and their experiences and hopes to ignite the entrepreneurial spirit within you. And now, here's Mark Haney.
Good morning. Today we have two real-world entrepreneurs with us today, and I'm very excited. Both have passion and commitment to socially responsible capitalism. We have Amina Cardano of Wholehearted Juice Company, and we have Tom Candress of Package One. I want to open up today by sending my thoughts and prayers out to the family of Bill Brown, a good friend of mine who passed away recently. His brother Kent does the show earlier, and Bill helped build out my former company. He ran the South. He moved to Memphis for us and ultimately moved to Texas and ran our Southern division. Anyway, Bill, I know you're listening somewhere from a better place. I miss you, buddy. With that said, people ask me, how do I choose a business partner? And I usually respond back by saying, I want to have a business partner. It's the type of person I'd go out and have a cold beer with, or maybe go play slow pitch softball with. But today I want to share with you my deeper thoughts on that. I think that having the right business partner is somebody that you would choose to be a best friend, somebody you trust, somebody that shares a commitment that you share, somebody that would have your back if you were in a fight. There's a lot of people that talk the talk, but when it comes down to it, they will not back you up when you need it. And today I'm going to introduce a good friend of mine who has had my back, and he's also a tremendous entrepreneur. Welcome, Tom Candress. How are you?
Thanks, Mark. Glad to be here, buddy.
I really appreciate you, and we actually are business partners now, technically. We're starting a limo company together. But the purpose of this appearance on the show and us getting to know you better is really about your entrepreneurial story at Package One and the affiliated companies of Package One. So, Tom, if you don't mind, can you share with us a little bit about Package One, how you got started, what's it all about?
Well, I'd like to tell people that Package One, we enable commerce and save the planet one box at a time. And so really what we're about is enabling supply chain here in the region, primarily servicing Northern California. But Package One was about a change in life, but not a lifestyle business. You know, I was in the microelectronics industry for 20 some odd years. So
you've gone from high tech to low tech, and now you're kind of circling back again.
Yeah, kind of high tech to no tech, right? And but of course, now through the innovation, through the whole fiber technology and some of the coatings materials that we do in the packaging space, we're kind of venturing back in the technology realm.
Okay, so you're in the high tech industry. I know you guys lived in Hong Kong. You're from Sacramento, but you had a very, very successful career in the high tech business semiconductor industry. What caused you to say, hey, look, I'm going to come back home and become an entrepreneur?
Well, you know, I spent a lot of my career kind of trying to find a way to get to the top and be the top of my game. And I felt like I accomplished that in the technology space. I led a technology company in the Far East, had a very successful career there. But it took me away from home. I was gone 85, 90% of the time, and my family was growing up without me. And I really felt like I had arrived from a business standpoint, and I had nothing left to really accomplish in that space, and except my family was living a life without me. And I felt like I had to do something. And I like to tell the story that I came home one day, and I dropped my bags, and my daughter ran up to me, and, you know, stood in front of me, and I say, Taylor, you know, and opened my arms, and she bent over and picked up a play phone, and she said, hi, Daddy, because that's the only way she knew how to talk to me. And I choked back the tears, only for a few hours. Eventually, I couldn't hold the tears back, but I had to make a decision. So it took me about 6 months to get the courage to resign from a company that I loved and felt had a lot of accomplishment with, and finally said, "Hey, I'm moving back to the United States, leaving Hong Kong, leaving that career that takes me away from my family, and I wanted to start a new life, and I wanted a life change, but I didn't want a lifestyle business. So I was looking for some opportunity, and I wind up in the packaging space because of a relationship with my best friend Eric."
I want to circle back to the family in a few minutes, but thinking about this transition and your friendship with Eric and moving back to Sacramento, can you give us a little bit of a perspective? You're one of the most successful entrepreneurs I know, and your business is in manufacturing, and you make boxes, but you do much more. Can you give us a sense as to what your business is all about?
Yeah, I like to say that we're a fiber company. We started off as a distribution company and eventually tapped into the manufacturing space. And I bought American River in 2005 because primarily most of our business was on the fiber and the corrugated side. But really, it's about, again, helping people get their products to market in a kind of a structural and a safe capacity with high tech and design. And so enabling that part of the business was a big part of what we decided to do. And so I'm, as a technology guy, always looking for different ways to differentiate our company. So whether it was segmenting data to reduce the transaction cost from $40 to $14, or looking at different engineering designs that actually take fiber out of the product where I might be able to sell it for less but increase my margins.
This is starting to sound high tech. For me.
I think once you go there, you never go back, I suppose. But I was always looking for the technology out of some basic businesses, and I think you bring up a great point because a lot of people confuse innovation with invention, and innovation can be making something better, improving processes, and providing a differentiator in what could be a very staid market.
So you bring up the term differentiator. What at Package One and your affiliated companies, is technology the differentiator, or what specifically is your differentiator? And is there a road to competitive advantage, or are there areas where you have a competitive advantage?
I think looking at relevancy, I think, is a differentiator. I think that the team that I've assembled wants to be relevant in this space. And I think that nobody wants to go by the wayside of the Pony Express and being beat out by the telegraph or by the train. And so I'm looking at how we can extend our markets and look at different ways of advancing what we do, making it better through high graphics or better strength or coatings, or looking at engineered paper designs that give our customers an advantage, but also motivate our people. I think most of our people come to work looking to make a difference, not looking to punch a clock.
Some of your products, I've been over to the Sacramento factory, and your graphics people and your, I'll call them marketing type people, are off the charts. You're doing things for major companies, Levi's, major wine companies, Simpson, the guys that do hold downs for the construction industry, different things for making foundations and framing. Give us a sense as the type of products that are kind of your everyday products.
Well, I would say the everyday products are the traditional brown and white boxes. I think that's what most people see behind the grocery stores and whatnot. But also, we look at the structural design of displays. And so you mentioned Levi's, so we've introduced some new technology that was developed by the U.S. Forestry Labs, which is really high tensile strength, high pressure fiber from recycled materials. And so there's a whole move of sustainability around the planet, but primarily here in California. So we're looking at different ways of bringing sustainable products that could be renewed and recycled, but delivering them to the market in a kind of unique way. So we have the brown and white with the print, but also I think the structural designs and the coatings, I think, also differentiates us in the marketplace.
And just to take a second here, if you have questions or comments for me or Tom Candress, tweet us at Haney Biz Radio. So Tom, your Simpson displays, I never thought of cardboard or corrugated as being able to withstand the weight. We have a construction company and we've done a lot of foundations, and those Simpson hold downs and straps and different things like that, they've got some weight to them. And you guys are building corrugated displays that can withstand the weight of construction products.
Yeah, I think the one you're kind of recalling is the tie downs and the screws and the bolts, and that display will hold up to 800 pounds. And so it's a combination of the EUR material also along with the corrugated products that we're bringing to market. And that's really where the engineering and design comes into play. So when I say design, it means structural as well as graphics. And I think that, and when you start looking at structural and graphic designs, you got to be able to create something that actually can be manufactured on the equipment set that is traditionally found in a corrugated manufacturing plant.
So, okay, so that's very interesting. So you guys can make virtually anything out of your corrugated and your E-core and so on. And out near your facility or at your facility outdoors, there's a digester that actually takes waste products and converts them to usable manufacturing materials, and it uses there's no waste associated with it. You're basically taking garbage and turning it into displays and boxes and things like that.
Well, I think that's the second part of our vision, enabling commerce and saving the planet one box at a time. And so we've partnered with Clean World Partners to put the first solid waste anaerobic digester in North America on my property. So it's technology that was brought to market from UC Davis and US Berkeley Sandia Labs, commercially produced by Clean World Partners. And so we volunteered to put that digester on our plant because diversion from the landfill, equals something that would help save the planet. And so when the digester is operable, we take downtown restaurant waste and mix with some of our solid fiber from our waste stream and create up to 30% of our energy when the digester is running. And the advantage is that long term, we expect to take the effluent, the solid fiber that comes out of the waste stream, and create other products, other renewable products with it, such as the E-core product that we've been talking about.
So when you drive down, again, I've been to your Sacramento office a number of times. I haven't been to Madera or some of the other places. Well, the one in San Diego I've been to, but you drive down and it feels industrial, and you don't really notice, you wouldn't normally notice that, hey, these guys over here are doing something very innovative. And I mean, are you ever mistaken for just hey, you guys are just a box company?
Hey, all the time, all the time. And what people don't realize is that manufacturers create more jobs in the region. But also, I kind of joke with people. I said, if you're challenged to drive around the neighborhood and stop at every company that looks like it innovates, you'd probably drive right by my plant. And the truth is that we're innovating all day long. So we're looking at not only improving processes, but looking at new materials and technology, whether it's evaluating bio wax to replace the paraffin wax ag boxes that would actually have a redemption value and can be renewed, where right now the current ag boxes go into a landfill. So we're looking at new triglyceride-based products to create a bio wax from soy that creates a sustainable corn, broccoli, asparagus kind of box. And so we're looking at innovation that way. We're looking at taking fiber out of recycled materials and creating things that have a higher value add.
Wow. High tech to no tech and back again. Amazing. I'm Mark Haney. You're listening to Entrepreneurs Unlimited. And when we come back, we're going to hear more about Tom's story and how he finds other ways to influence our local community and beyond. Again, thanks for listening. We'll be back in just a minute.
Now, here's Mark.
Welcome back. I'm Mark Haney, and we are having a lively discussion with real-world entrepreneur Tom Kandris. So, Tom, you and I are really good friends. We're next door neighbors. We have talked about entrepreneurship. We're members of EO. You brought me into the entrepreneurial organization. And I've often heard you ask the question, when did you realize you were an entrepreneur? Because that word is sort of a new word. So, Tom, I'm going to turn the table on you. When did you realize you were an entrepreneur?
Well, I have to say that I'm not sure that I still realize it, but I think that the first time I was anointed with a label was when I became part of the Entrepreneurs Organization.
Okay.
And their definition, I think, sort of defined me. But you're out starting a business, you're out doing things. You don't go, "Hey, I'm an entrepreneur." And I often look at what the makeup is of that individual. So if you take investment dollars and you pay yourself a salary, you lose the investment dollars, are you really an entrepreneur? So I think when you have things at risk and your passion drives you, it's less than monetary. It's more about having a vision and feeling so strong about it. and being able to sell that vision to a point where other people would follow you and share your vision.
Yeah. Now, you talked about risk. So often that's associated with entrepreneurship. And I agree with you that if you're not taking a risk, you're not in the same class as people that are taking a risk in terms of entrepreneurship. I don't mean that to sound negative. I feel like I misspoke there as I said that. But if you've taken a risk and you're hanging it all on the line, there's definitely an incentive to perform. What kind of risk did you take? You left the high-tech industry and you bought into American River Packaging. Talk to us about that risk. What went through your mind as you were taking those risks? And you're taking risks today.
Well, I mean, a couple things. First is that we started Package One as a distribution company from scratch, and took investment capital or savings really, and a small SBA loan, and started Package One from nothing, empty warehouse. And we thought when we started the company, we put the basketball court in one corner and the weight room in another corner. And before you know it, we fill it up with things that we sold, and eventually grew like crazy. And what that did is allowed us to develop a large enough war chest and a big enough market to acquire American River in 2005. So we started, frankly, my partner and I didn't take a dime out of the company. We started to repay ourselves the money we loaned the company. But we, for 3 years, made a complete investment into technology, to inventory, to growing the market. We acquired a number of what I like to call pop and pops, people who have created jobs for themselves.
Not mom and pops.
No, pop and pops mostly.
In boxes.
There could be mom and
there are
pop.
no moms in boxes.
There are moms in boxes. There's a lot of great moms in boxes. But so we started rolling up the region's supply chain. So that was part of the vision. So eventually we expanded into Utah. So, but we grew like crazy. The opportunity to acquire American River through the recapitalization of assets and through leverage, rather than take investment capital, was a turning point for us. So we did acquire through leverage, and things looked really good. It looked really easy. We took on the people. It was a good culture match. Then, frankly, the fit hit the shan in 2007, 2008 timeframe. Being a highly leveraged company with a bunch of acquisitions, with multiple platforms, the timing was a bit challenging.
So most entrepreneurs think of leverage as you're going out and getting a small business loan, maybe some other kind of loans from friends and family. In your leveraged situation, did you guys personally guarantee loans and things like that? I mean, were you really like, this could cut into my my world?
Well, in 2005, acquired American River, and it did require personal guarantees and highly leverage. It was a risk. I felt it was a pretty good calculated risk, and unfortunately, the market did a downturn. Commodity pricing, raw material pricing was going crazy. Katrina hit. So it got ugly really, really quick. And I think kind of what you're alluding to is that in 2007, frankly, I almost lost everything. And I remember laying in bed with my wife, thinking, I just can't do this anymore. Literally makes me sound like crybaby because I'm telling you I cried twice now. So, but I literally remember in tears and saying, I just can't do this anymore. And then I realized, with the support of my wife, Teresa, said, I can't quit. I can't fire me. The bank could own everything in the end. So I drug my backside out of bed, and I went to work on some plans that were completely contrary to me. I mean, me, it's grow, 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 go, go, go. And some of the decisions I had to make were to sell off the distribution company that I started in 2000, and in order to pay off some debt. Wow. So it was a very difficult period of time, but the whole challenge there was, do I let the species go extinct or do I salvage the species? And so we chose to make some changes. But I do want to make this comment, is we sold off two significant pieces of business, the distribution company and the manufacturing location in Sparks, and we made sure everybody had jobs through the acquiring companies. That's
very the right thing to do. It's just the way that you are, Tom. Was this what'd you learn from this, I guess, tremendous challenge? You must have learned some stuff about yourself.
I think I'm still learning, and I'm not sure. Every challenge, I wouldn't say that there's a recipe going forward. I think every challenge is different. At that moment, there were some historical things where I had left some companies too soon, and in the semiconductor space, I was able to get some stock options and things like that, and I sometimes felt like I left these organizations too soon, and the payoff sometimes could have been bigger if I waited and dug in and made things happen. And so I think my past experiences gave me the resolve to hang in there. So look, I'm not going to go backwards, and B, I developed a mindset that there's always a business decision to be made. You may not like it, but there's always a decision to be made.
Where did your style, your motivation, your determination, your perseverance, these basic fundamental traits, they must have been shaped from your childhood or some things that happened to you early on. Can you give us a sense? You grew up here in Sacramento. Can you give us a sense as to what kind of things shaped you and shaped who you are when you were young?
I think sometimes you look at missed opportunity, and the woulda, coulda, shoulda, and the other part of it is just the desire and the belief that you could do better. And frankly, I think the things that shape me and a lot of other entrepreneurs is really fear. I mean, motivation. Am I really enough? And so you look at when we start our businesses or the desire to keep going. Sometimes is born out of what people consider your own personal deficiencies.
So many entrepreneurs were athletes or they were part of teams, and I know your culture at Package One is very good. The team is united. Talk to us about, and you were an athlete. How did that shape you?
Well, I tell you, I'm 57, and so I grew up Foothill High School. Go Mustangs! Coach Lindy, God rest his soul. Coach Frank Nager was there for a long time. So, I mean, really, it was a day when the motivation was less coddling; it was more intense. And I think that a lot of entrepreneurs in my age group have that same level of intensity. And I do think that team sports and managing through adversity really is a trait that entrepreneurs must have. They must have a we all win together attitude. They must have perseverance. They must have the passion. And I think without that, I think that they give up too soon. And the entrepreneur really has got to be the guy that turns out the lights at the end of the day if all is said and done doesn't work out the way it should.
We're going to take a quick break. I'm Mark Haney. You're listening to Entrepreneurs Unlimited on KHTK Sports 1140 and HaneyBiz.com.
Once again, here's Mark Haney.
Welcome back, and I am talking with Package One founder, president, and real-world entrepreneur Tom Kandris. Tom, we've got a background as to what's been happening with Package One and how you got into Package One, but the culture at Package One is one of team. We spoke about that. Talk to us a little bit about your philosophies for business. I know that you never claim to be the boss. You don't say, "Hey, I'm in charge." That's just you're humble in that way. Talk to us about your business philosophies.
Yeah, I think what you're referring to is that we started the company in 2000, took our first orders February 18th of 2000, and no one in my company has ever heard me say I'm the owner of this company. And I think that I'm the CEO as long as the company will have me. Frankly, I mean, it's if I'm not the right guy to lead, and eventually the company will outgrow me, perhaps, then we'll find the next team. But I really think that we try to hire a management team of adults, people that know what they're supposed to be doing and do it. Give them the broader challenges. Microelectronics world, a lot of smart people. They don't want to be told what to do. Manufacturing business, a little bit more directive, but I'm trying to bring in the tech philosophy of people knowing what to do, taking the responsibility, and doing it. Because frankly, I think that done the right way can be a lot more fulfilling for people.
You talk about the philosophy. You often think about the culture of a company as how the team thinks, the cumulative, the combined way that all the team thinks ends up being the company culture. You talked about empowerment. In what way do you empower your people? You've got to have accountability.
Well, we'd like to think that we've got accountability. It doesn't always work that way. I think we do miss targets, but I think it's really about how you respond. And I think that the resiliency and the courage that my team has, we're going to make mistakes. We miss targets. It's been a tough year with the economy and the price pressures and things like that. So I think the resiliency is about how we support each other and give people the tools to do their job.
And you talk about the economy, and you and I have often had discussions about how can you play it, and you can't harness the ocean. What do you do when the economy deals you some bad cards?
Yeah, well, I do like to say that. I say, you can't harness the ocean. You can only navigate it. So I think it's about giving what the market will give you, and it's also about putting some predictive tools in place. And predictive tools is not necessarily a Ouija board or a crystal ball, but in California, they kind of make their predictive tools a little bit easier, and they do it through legislation mostly. And so the whole greening sustainability component is, designing. There's some legislation out there, and I believe I might get it wrong, but around 2020, there's supposed to be a reduction of packaging materials out of the landfill by 75%. And so, so I'm constantly looking at ways of taking renewables or designing things with things that can be renewed, taking plastics and foam and things like that out of the bracing structures of packaging and substituting with fiber-based products. So, kind of the crystal ball is somewhat dictated by the market, but also taking advantage of what the market gives you.
Tell me about a big win story that you've had, a time when you've really won.
Boy, that's I would say that I'm not necessarily a cup half empty guy, and I think there's nothing 100%. And so I look at the wins along the way as being the biggest one I have hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
But I would say that I'm going to back up and say that the biggest win was. The fork in the road, leaving the microelectronics industry and choosing my family was probably the biggest win. And then along the way, having shared that journey for a time with my partner, Eric, having the opportunity to acquire American River and leverage that. The downside is selling it off in 2007, but now growing it back in a significant way. Now being partners and an investor in Northern Sheets at McClellan Park and Central California Sheets in Kingsburg, and really just kind of growing the other factories that we have in Sacramento and Madera.
Social responsibility is often thought of as important and necessary, and I think you exemplify that with the way you're positioning your company with the green technology and the high tech and all the opportunity that's created there with the growth of your company. But you also are on several boards. You're on the board of directors of the entrepreneurial organization. I know we're on that together. Social Venture Partners, we're on that together. But I think you're on. How many boards are you on? You're on a lot.
I'm on a number of boards. I am, but I do calendar it. If it's on my Outlook, I do. It does get done. But I really look at the community as a whole, and I chose to come home to Sacramento. And, my commitment to the region was to, again, not create a lifestyle business, but to create a business that creates as many jobs as I can. I want to make the Sacramento region the best region it possibly can be. And I think other than telling somebody you love them, giving them a job is the next best thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Have you ever been accused of overboarding? Being on too many boards?
Yeah, you accuse me of that all the time. A number of people have done that. And, but I really think that what I try to do is I try to choose things that leverage my strengths, I don't want to say that I don't prepare, but don't require a lot of extra learning. And I also try to bring, lump things together of similar things in a similar day or in a similar week. So I try to manage my time where if I'm working with the chamber board, I'm on the executive committee for the Sacramento Chamber, and I'm the board chair at St. Francis High School. So I'm just really things that I'm really passionate about in terms of building community, building jobs, and And the next thing is it's all education based.
Now, thinking about your customers, were you involved in selling to the Saturday Night Live people, the Justin Timberlake? I got my stick in a box.
No. But I might license the clip, the video clip. I got your package, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All the fellas
Chris,
out there with ladies to
Chris is hooking us up.
It's easy to do. Just follow these steps.
Hey, this really needs video.
Yeah.
2.
Put your junk in that box.
Well, Tom, this was obviously done by a competitor. It was great product placement, and I heard that you were involved in that. So thinking about the future, you and I are starting a business together. We're bringing in Marcus, my son, a Marine, that is going to help us build a limousine company called Limitless Limo. So that's another opportunity that you're providing. So you can't shut it off.
No, but I'm inspired by your son Marcus. He's a rock star. So I have a lot of confidence in him. But I think we talked about the things that we do for our livelihood. But it's also nice to engage in creating businesses and opportunities that create a lot of fun. In the spirit of fun. And I hope like crazy we don't lose any money on this deal.
Never.
But it's fun, it's entertaining.
I don't know what our burn rate is, but it's coming back.
But it's a cool ride, and I enjoy cruising Sacramento and some sporting events in it.
Okay, good. Now, you talked about fun. You and I have done a ton of fun things. You've introduced me to, you have Niner tickets, you've got Giants tickets, Kings tickets, we travel together. You're living your bucket list every day. If you had to say, hey, here's something I really want to do, what would that be?
I think that when I look at what my bucket list might look like, I think it's less of the adventure piece. It's less about where I can go and what I can do, because I think you kind of hit it on the head. I think we do a lot of really cool things. But I think just kind of enriching, and we got this thing called the wheel. So the bigger, rounder wheel. It's about family, relationships, friendships, adventure, health, spirituality. It's taking all these different things and finding a way to populate all those buckets and making that wheel, as we call it, as big and as round as possible. And I think that's really where I would like to take my life.
You came and spoke to our team, our group of teams at our office, and you were able to inspire them, inspire me. What would you say advice-wise to young entrepreneurs thinking about taking a risk? We only have a minute left.
I'd say take the risk. But if you're passionate about it, I think ideally, if you could find something that you really enjoy and you could be passionate about it, and you'd like to do that above all else, and monetary success is not as critical, then I would say do it. Most entrepreneurs don't go out and say, "Hey, look, I'm going to take wheelbarrows of money home," and frankly, I don't think people would want to work for somebody like that. The entrepreneurs that I associate with really have a vision. They have a passion for what they're doing, and they want to change the world. They want to change something significant. And so if that's the case, then I think you have a good chance of succeeding, because the monetary reward will come, and because people like to be around people who are passionate.
Tom Candress, Package One. I'm Mark Haney. I'm going to ask Tom to stick around through the break, and we're going to be talking with Amina Cordano of Wholehearted Juice, and we're going to find out how she is changing the world. I'm Mark Haney. You're listening to KHTK, Entrepreneurs Unlimited, on KHTK Sports 1140 and streaming live on HaneyBiz.com.
Once again, here's Mark Haney.
Welcome back, and I'm Mark Haney, and Tom Candress is stuck around to help me with our next guest, Amina Cordano of Wholehearted Juice. Amina, how you doing?
I'm doing fabulous, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great, and welcome. We want to hear about your entrepreneurial story with Wholehearted Juice. Give us a sense as to why you started the juice business, and what are you guys doing today?
Perfect. So 2011, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. My heart was running at about 19% functionality-wise, and started looking at what I could do besides medication to work on improving my heart. It was 21% when they let me go from the hospital. Started looking at, eating raw, eating healthy, eating organic. I was always a very good eater, but still I would, had no problem devouring a bowl of pasta every now and then.
You sound like a bottle.
No,
A bottle of
I know,
pasta.
bottle of pasta.
That's me talking.
So really started just really researching it and what I could do, and came to juicing and bought a juicer, a Norwalk, Dr. Norman Walker's kind of the first person to introduce cold press juicing into the United States, and got a cold press juicer. It would take me 6 hours to get 3 gallons of juice.
Oh, boy.
So I would go out and I would sort. That was just the actual labor part of it. But I would go out to farmers markets, source local organic produce, and spread it all over my island, in my kitchen.
Doesn't it make a lot of noise, too? My wife used to juice. And it's like, come on, I'm trying to watch TV.
Huge process.
I can't even hear the TV.
Yeah, huge process. So people started coming over, grabbing the juice, drinking the juice. I would be gone. By the end of the day, my juice would be gone, and I'd have to start all over the next day. So started really looking at what I could do to bring the juice to the people, to get it out into the world. And the amazing thing is as I was juicing, my heart failure was getting better. I was on 5 different medications. The doctors were dumbfounded. I go in every 4 to 6 months for my echo, my EKG, nuclear testing, stress testing. And it just started improving.
So the juice helps. I mean, congestive heart failure, that's major issue, and the juice got you back on the road to health. I mean,
Definitely.
you're obviously, you got an outgoing, bubbly personality, and I'm sure that's helpful in building a juice business.
Definitely.
Talk to us about building your business.
So let me go back to my heart failure really quickly. So 10
sorry.
months ago, totally in remission.
Wow.
Right?
That's amazing.
Isn't that great?
Congratulations.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's
Very
definitely the juice.
That's great. And I've tried the juice. We now buy juice instead of making it around the house. And
From Wholehearted Juice Company.
we have started buying from Wholehearted Juice. We went out to your new location.
Yes,
and you
thank
provided us
you.
with some juice, and it was delicious. So tell us about the business.
It's an adventure. Every day is an adventure. But going from building a business out of my house, being a raw unpasteurized product, to then finding our first commercial kitchen, to hiring our first employees. We now have 11 employees. So that's been in a year and a half.
Wow.
The growth. But going through all of the licensing, because we are a raw and pasteurized product, it's kind of a gray area. We're working with the county and working with the state. And it's just this whole movement that I feel like we're on the cutting edge of taking it to the next level.
Where are your locations today?
So our commissary kitchen where we press out of is on Folsom Boulevard. And then our very first juice window is on 20th and K on the Mars building. And we're getting ready to launch next week in Granite Bay Wellness, and that is on Douglas Boulevard, Douglas and Sierra College.
What's the
Or
best?
Auburn Folsom. That's it.
What's the most popular juice?
Ooh, the most popular juice right now, I would say, is Transformation. Transformation is a beet-based juice. It's a beet blend with kale, celery, apple, little bit of apple, orange, lemon, and ginger. We're very unique in that we really work hard on keeping the vegetable content really high and the fruit very low. And create the balance.
Tom, you and Teresa drink a little juice. You guys do juice?
Yeah, I drink juice. I love carrot juice and beet juice, and I've tried your juices, and they're delicious. But I have a question for you. So if I were to buy some of the juice, I mean, how is it a daily thing? Can I keep it in my refrigerator for a couple days? How often do I need to kind of replenish my stash?
So currently we're pressing 6 days a week, and the juice lasts 4 to 5 days, depending upon what the ingredients are. And so you could purchase it. I would say if you do a juice club, you could pick it up every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you're going to drink 2 juices, and it'll just keep it as fresh.
So
That's-
your background, you have your husband Ray and I are very good friends, and I don't know how many businesses you guys own. I know he chases a lot of shiny
I
objects.
think he has like 20.
So talk to us about starting this business. How is this different? This is your baby, and I mean, it's obviously you got to take some risk. And how? I mean, what's been the biggest challenge? It sounds like
my
the
gosh.
regulatory issues are challenging.
Huge, because again, we're a raw and pasteurized product, so no one knows kind of how to handle us. We can't wholesale it. We can't consign it. We have to directly bring the juice to you. So that's why we have the juice windows. So you actually have to come to the juice shop. I have to ring you up and then hand you the juice. Okay. So this time next year, it's going to be all different. That's my whole goal, is to just really move it, get some lobbyists, get it going, and really figure out, like the tattoo industry, how we can regulate it and get it going to where we can bring it to everyone.
So what are you most excited about right now? You have the new location just started. You just started your earlier one. Now another one's coming on.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I would tell you that my employees, like, that's just the most amazing thing. The love and the passion that they have to work with Wholehearted. They're not even employees, they're family members. And just the team that we've created is unstoppable. It's miraculous.
And do you do events? I know there's a paddleboard affiliation. Talk to us about that, because it's becoming cool to drink juice.
Yeah, and we're more than just juice. We're more than just juice in a bottle. We're a lifestyle. I mean, it's definitely, when you become a client, you can call us, you can ask us any questions. We're there for you to help you out along your entire journey of nutrition and just life. So every morning, Monday through Friday, we paddleboard, and you're welcome to come. You can sign up online.
Yes.
But we also, as a team, as a whole, an employee of Wholehearted, you are invited to come out. It's 6 o'clock every morning. We watch the sunrise, and we also set an intention for the day, which is really, really important. And then if you don't show up, you can always, we text message the entire team the intention for the day, and then we also post it on Facebook so that everyone else can see it.
When you came in the studio today, you said that there were some miracles happening in your life. Talk to us about this side of what's happening. What kind of miracles are happening?
Well, I just think that we come from a place of love and transparency, and we're just very, very real. So doors have closed for us in the last couple of weeks, but huge, big ones have opened. Like, it's just, it's unreal. So from getting permitted, it was a miracle for getting permitted at Mars. We, within a 2-hour time frame, were at the EMD, Environmental Management Department, had a hearing, and doors opened just right before the day before our grand opening.
Tom and I have had a few doors closed on us too, and so you had
thrown
that
out of a couple places too.
Me too.
So what do you do when just advice to other people thinking about starting a business when a door closes? How do you feel? How do you overcome that?
Trust. Just trust the universe. Trust that it's going to come out tenfold. Like, that's it. I mean, that's just the most amazing. Just know. When you know, and that's just, you know it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that spirit. And now you came. I wanted to, before I forget, you're going to Taylor Swift. Is that tonight?
Yes, that's tonight.
And you decided to come in here on your way down.
Yep.
You're on your way down there, and you swing in.
I'm going to, yeah.
Now, she is obviously very popular. She has the it factor. My daughter and wife and granddaughter and good friend went down there last night and said the show was off the charts. Now, when it comes to the it factor, you, Amina, have the it factor. How are you integrated into the business? You're in love with your employees, but are you just right there at the hub?
I am, yeah. I mean, I jump on the juicer. I'm washing bottles. Like, it's important for the employees to see that I can do everything. I mean, I started it by myself doing everything, so I love to jump in and still do it. Like, that's the thing. Like, that's where you have to just be in it.
That's awesome. Amina Cordano, founder, owner, Wholehearted Juice, great juice, off the charts juice, and it keeps you healthy. It can even save your life. I'm Mark Haney. We'll be back with closing thoughts. You're listening to Entrepreneurs Unlimited on KHTK Sports 1140 and HaneyBiz.com.
Once again, here's Mark.
Welcome back to Entrepreneurs Unlimited. I am ready for some closing thoughts. We had our entrepreneurial organization meeting a couple days ago, and we were at 5 Star Bank, and Mike Rizzo was over there and really provided hospitality there at their Rancho Cordova office. And I just wanted to say a shout out to the guys over at 5 Star Bank, the Entrepreneurs Bank, James Beckwith and Jason Hartman. You guys do a great job. We're moving more accounts over there and look forward to strengthening our relationship and building something important together in Sacramento. And also, today's show is a lot about friendships, and And my good buddy Richard Bach, and I know you're listening today. I love you, and you're with Steve Financial. We're going to have you on the show in a few weeks. So I look forward to having you come on. Next week, we have Rob Awalt, NFL superstar. Was a Rookie of the Year. He built an entrepreneurial business, including a bagel company and a reverse mortgage company, which he was very successful in. And we're also going to have Robert Winkler of Fifth Planet Games. Both stories of incredible perseverance. You got to tune in next week to the show. Today, my thoughts are with thinking about Tom's story and Package One and how he faced a crossroads in his life with working in Hong Kong and traveling all over the place, and then making the decision to choose the love of his family over corporate life. And I think only in America can you make that decision to invest in yourself and invest into the friend that he had at American River Packaging. And it's those friendships and those business partners that have enabled him to build this company that gives back so much to our community and to our country. So only in America can you have a success story like Tom Candress, Package One, where he never calls himself the owner of his company. It's his people that lead that thing, not him. Proud to be here with you, Tom. Proud to be hosting this show. Proud to be promoting entrepreneurship. Look forward to hearing you guys, being with you guys next week. Thank you.